In the heart of southern Africa lies a land where nature still rules, where every sunrise tells a story of survival, and where silence speaks louder than words. This is Botswana, a country untouched by time, raw in its beauty, and wild beyond imagination. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine this. The first light of dawn breaking over endless savannas, elephants marching in the distance, and the distant call of a lion echoing through the golden mist. This is not just a place, it's an experience that stirs the soul and awakens something ancient within us. Our journey begins here, deep within the soul of Africa, where wilderness meets wonder. Botswana isn't just another travel destination. It's a glimpse into what the earth looked like before humans took control. With almost half of its land protected for wildlife, Botswana is one of the few countries that have chosen nature over greed. There are no fences separating animals from their freedom, no crowded highways cutting through migration paths, just open skies, unending grasslands, and the rhythm of life flowing as it has for thousands of years. The adventure starts in the Okavango Delta, one of the planet's last great natural wonders. Every year, the rains from Angola travel hundreds of kilometers to flood this vast inland delta, transforming dry desert plains into a paradise teeming with life. From above, it looks like a living mosaic of water and land, a pulsing heart that gives life to the wild. Here, hippos bathe in quiet lagoons, crocodiles glide beneath mirrored waters, and herds of elephants wade through the channels, their reflections dancing in the ripples of light. Gliding silently through these waters in a mokoro, a traditional dugout canoe, you feel time slow down. The air smells of fresh papyrus and earth. A kingfisher dives into the water beside you, and the distant trumpet of an elephant echoes like a reminder that this land belongs to them. Every sound, every shadow carries meaning. This isn't a zoo. There are no barriers, no guarantees, only respect, the unspoken agreement between man and nature. When night falls over the delta, the world changes. The air cools, and the sky becomes a dome of stars, billions of them, shining brighter than anywhere else on Earth. The chorus of frogs and crickets fills the air, and in the distance, you might hear the low growl of a lion claiming its territory. Sitting by the campfire, surrounded by that symphony of wilderness, you begin to understand what it means to be truly alive. Out here, you don't just see nature, you become part of it. But Botswana's beauty isn't only in its landscapes, it's in its philosophy. Unlike many nations that exploit their natural treasures, Botswana has built its identity around preservation. Tourism here is limited and exclusive, not to keep people away, but to keep the wilderness intact. The government's high-value, low-impact policy ensures that the country's wild heart continues to beat, unbroken and untamed. It's a model the world could learn from, where progress and preservation walk hand in hand. For those who come seeking luxury, Botswana offers some of the most beautiful eco-lodges in the world, where the walls are made of canvas and the windows open to the sound of the wild. But the real luxury here is not marble floors or fine dining. It's the feeling of waking up to an African sunrise, of hearing lions roar in the distance, of knowing that this land, this life, still exists somewhere in the world. As the sun rises once more over the Okavango, the mist lifts and the delta comes alive again. Herds of buffalo cross the water, leopards slink through the shadows, and the great white egrets rise in unison, a dance of wings across a golden sky. Botswana is not a place you simply visit. It's a place that visits you, that leaves its mark on your spirit long after you've left. Because in this wild land, untouched by time, you don't just see Africa, you feel it. If there is one place on Earth where you can truly feel the pulse of Africa, it's here in Chobe National Park, the land of giants. As the morning mist drifts over the Chobe River, the first rays of sunlight reveal a sight that feels almost unreal. Hundreds of elephants marching in silent formation, their footsteps soft against the riverbank, their tusks gleaming like ancient ivory crowns. This is no ordinary gathering. It's one of the greatest concentrations of elephants anywhere on the planet. In Chobe, the elephant is not a rare sight. It's the heartbeat of the land itself. Everywhere you look, life is in motion. The river glows with the reflection of the rising sun, and a family of hippos surfaces, their grunts echoing across the water. On the distant plains, a herd of buffalo moves like a dark wave, stirring up clouds of golden dust. The air feels electric, alive, with the sounds of wings, roars, and the rustle of grass. This is Chobe, where the wild rules supreme, and every day unfolds like a scene from an ancient legend. The Chobe River is the lifeblood of this ecosystem, a glittering ribbon that draws all creatures to its shores. During the dry season, when much of Botswana bakes under the relentless sun, this river becomes the only source of life for miles around. From the smallest impala to the towering elephant, every creature depends on its waters. Safari boats drift silently along the current, allowing travelers to witness nature's drama unfold from just a few feet away. Imagine the scene. A massive bull elephant steps into the water, his trunk spraying cool mist into the air. A crocodile slips beneath the surface, invisible but ever present. Fish eagles circle above, their cries echoing like the song of freedom. Every moment here is a reminder of how delicate, yet powerful, life can be. But Chobe is not only about the elephants, it's also home to lions, leopards, and some of the most intense predator-prey encounters on the continent. As dusk descends, the savanna transforms. The air cools, shadows stretch across the plains, and the hunters begin their nightly rituals. A pride of lions gathers near the river's edge, their eyes glowing like embers in the fading light. Nearby, a herd of antelope stands alert, their ears twitching at the faintest sound. In these moments, time feels suspended, as if the ancient rhythm of life and death still beats undisturbed in this wild corner of the world. For those who journey here, Chobe offers a rare kind of beauty, not polished or controlled, but raw and unfiltered. You can feel it in the air, taste it in the dust, and hear it in the deep rumble of an elephant's call. It's the sound of Africa as it once was, and thanks to Botswana's commitment to conservation, as it still remains. The people of Botswana have made an extraordinary choice to protect this wilderness, even when it means slowing down development or tourism. Their philosophy is simple: true wealth lies not in gold or oil, but in the roar of lions, the freedom of elephants, and the unbroken silence of the wild. Because once you lose that, you lose something far greater than land. You lose a piece of the earth's soul. In Chobe, you begin to understand this truth. Watching the sunset over the river, with the silhouettes of elephants crossing in the distance, you realize that this isn't just a national park, it's a living, breathing cathedral of nature. The sky turns from gold to crimson, and the land glows like fire as night falls. Stars emerge one by one, reflected in the still waters below. As the campfire crackles and the sounds of the wild rise around you, you feel something ancient stir within, a connection that no city, no technology can replace. Chobe has a way of reminding us that we are not separate from nature. We are part of it. And in that realization lies both humility and hope. Because here, in the heart of Botswana's wilderness, the giants still walk free, and the wild still reigns. As dawn breaks over the horizon, the world appears flat, endless, and eerily silent. The ground shimmers in the morning light, like a vast mirror reflecting the heavens above. Welcome to the Makgadikgadi Salt Pans, one of the most surreal landscapes on Earth, and a place that defies imagination. Stretching across more than 12,000 square kilometers, this ancient basin was once a mighty lake larger than Switzerland that dried up thousands of years ago. What remains today is a white, shimmering expanse so vast and empty that it feels like you've stepped onto another planet. At first glance, Makgadikgadi seems lifeless. No trees, no shade, no movement, just the whisper of the wind sweeping across the salt. But stand still long enough, and you'll realize the truth. This land is not dead. it's simply waiting. Beneath the cracked surface lies the heartbeat of the desert, subtle, patient, and full of surprises. When the rains come, this barren world transforms. Water floods the pans, turning them into a temporary paradise for tens of thousands of flamingos and migrating animals. The silence gives way to sound, the rush of wings, the cries of birds, the thunder of hooves. Life returns with astonishing force, as if the earth itself is reborn. It's here, in this seemingly desolate expanse, that one learns the meaning of contrast, where emptiness becomes beauty and stillness becomes power. Imagine standing in the middle of the pans at sunset. The world glows pink and gold, and the horizon stretches so far that it bends with the curve of the earth. There's no sound, no movement, no boundaries, just you, the wind, and the infinite. It's a feeling of freedom so profound that words can't describe it. At night, the Makgadikgadi transforms again. The stars spill across the sky in numbers you've never seen before. Billions of them, bright and unfiltered, shining so close you feel you could reach out and touch them. This is one of the darkest places on the planet, far away from any light pollution. The Milky Way arches overhead like a river of fire. It's humbling, a reminder of how small we truly are, and how magnificent the universe can be when untouched by man. But Makgadikgadi is not only about landscapes. It's also about connection to the land, to time, and to the people who have survived here for generations. The Sand People, one of the oldest human cultures on Earth, have lived around these pans for thousands of years. To walk with them across the desert is to see the world through ancient eyes, to learn how to read the wind, track animals through invisible signs, and find life in a place that seems empty. Their wisdom is not written in books, it's written in the rhythm of the earth itself. For travelers, visiting Makgadikgadi isn't just about seeing something new, it's about feeling something eternal. This land strips away the noise of modern life, leaving only what's essential. You can drive for hours across the pans without seeing another soul. The mirage dances on the horizon, and your thoughts echo in the vast silence. It's in that solitude that you begin to hear yourself again, to reconnect with something long forgotten. And then there are the moments of magic. Picture a herd of zebra moving across the white expanse, their dark stripes creating ripples of contrast against the glowing salt. Or a lone ostrich standing tall, its feathers catching the wind as it scans the horizon. During the migration, the pans become a sea of movement, tens of thousands of animals making their way across this desert, guided by instinct and survival. It's one of the greatest wildlife spectacles in Africa, yet few ever witness it. When you stand in the middle of the Makgadikgadi and look around, you realize how rare such places have become. Places that remind us of the planet's raw, unshaped beauty. Here, there are no skyscrapers, no noise, no distractions, only the hum of the earth and the dance of light across the salt. As the day ends and the last rays of sunlight fade into the horizon, the desert seems to breathe. The air cools, the salt sparkles, and the vastness swallows every thought. It's easy to lose yourself here, but maybe that's the point. Because in losing yourself in the Makgadikgadi, you find something far greater: peace. This is the paradox of Botswana's desert, empty yet full, silent yet alive, harsh yet healing. And as you leave this ancient sea of salt behind, you carry with you not just a memory of a place, but a feeling that stays forever. That somewhere on this earth, the wild still whispers. In the heart of Botswana, where the desert meets the sky, something miraculous happens. Water flows into the sand. It defies reason, yet it's real. This is the Okavango Delta, one of the planet's most extraordinary natural wonders. A living, breathing oasis that appears and disappears with the rhythm of the earth itself. Unlike any other delta in the world, the Okavango doesn't flow into an ocean. It seeps into the sands of the Kalahari, vanishing into the ground as though swallowed by time. But before it disappears, It creates one of the richest ecosystems on Earth, a labyrinth of channels, lagoons, and islands teeming with life. The magic of the Okavango begins thousands of kilometers away, in the highlands of Angola. There, the rains fall and rivers swell, sending a slow-moving flood southward, a journey that takes months to reach Botswana. When it finally arrives, the transformation is astonishing. Dry plains turn to shimmering wetlands, parched grasslands become mirror-like lakes, and the land bursts into color and motion. It's as if the desert suddenly remembers how to breathe. Imagine gliding silently through narrow water channels in a mokoro, the traditional dugout canoe of the delta. The air smells of fresh papyrus and wild lilies, and the only sounds are the gentle splash of your guide's pole and the distant call of birds. You pass herds of lechwe antelope wading gracefully through the shallows, while elephants feed in the distance, half submerged in the cool water. This is nature's cathedral, vast, sacred, and alive. Every ripple, every shadow tells a story written in water and light. From above, the Okavango looks like a living mosaic, veins of blue weaving through golden green. It's home to more than 500 species of birds, 160 species of mammals, and countless reptiles and fish. Here, lions learn to swim, leopards hunt in the reeds, and crocodiles glide beneath the surface like silent predators. Each day brings a new drama, a chase through the floodplains, a herd crossing the channel, or the quiet beauty of a sunset painting the sky with fire. But beyond its beauty, the Okavango is a symbol proof that life can flourish even in the harshest conditions. It's a miracle of balance, a place where the desert and the river coexist in perfect harmony. Scientists call it a pulmonary system, the lungs of Botswana, because it expands and contracts with the seasons, breathing life into everything it touches. Without this water, much of Botswana's wildlife would vanish. With it, the land becomes a paradise. For the people who live here, the Okavango is not just a source of life, it's a way of life. The local communities have learned to live in sync with the water's rhythms, fishing, farming, and guiding visitors through this maze of beauty. Their respect for the land runs deep, rooted in centuries of coexistence. They understand what many have forgotten, that nature is not something to be conquered, but something to be honored. When the day ends, the delta transforms again. The air cools, the wind softens, and the horizon glows in shades of amber and rose. From your camp perched on a small island surrounded by the flood, you hear the calls of frogs and the distant trumpet of elephants. The stars emerge, their reflections dancing in the dark water. There is no electricity, no noise, no distraction, only the wild, pure, and eternal. Lying beneath that infinite sky, you begin to realize what makes Botswana so special. It's not just the wildlife or the landscapes, it's the feeling of being part of something ancient and untamed. The Okavango Delta is a living reminder of how fragile and resilient our planet can be at the same time. When dawn breaks again, a thin mist rises over the reeds. Hippos yawn in the distance. Herons glide silently through the air, and the world feels new. The floodwaters continue their slow, graceful journey, feeding life, shaping the land, and disappearing into the desert once more, leaving behind one of the greatest miracles of nature. Here, in the Okavango Delta, time has no meaning. Only the pulse of the earth matters, steady, eternal, and wild. And as you drift through its waters, you realize that this is not just a place to visit. It's a place to feel, to breathe, to listen, and to remember that somewhere, the world still works the way it was meant to. As the sun rises over Botswana for the final time in our journey, its golden light sweeps across the land, from the shimmering waters of the Okavango to the endless sands of the Kalahari. The air is still, filled only with the distant call of a fish eagle and the soft rustle of grass. It's in this moment that you understand. Botswana isn't just a place on a map. It's a feeling, a quiet, powerful reminder that the wild still reigns somewhere on this planet. Every corner of this country tells a story of resilience, of respect, and of harmony between man and nature. Here, life hasn't been tamed. It's not packaged or polished for convenience. Instead, it moves according to ancient rhythms, written in the footprints of elephants and the flight of birds. Botswana is one of the few places on Earth where nature hasn't been pushed aside, where the animals still have the right of way, and where the land belongs to those who understand it, not those who try to control it. As you travel deeper into its heart, you feel that connection growing stronger. In the remote villages near the Okavango, children laugh along the riverbanks while elders tell stories beneath acacia trees. Their words carry wisdom older than any book lessons of patience, humility, and coexistence. They speak of how the rains are both a blessing and a test, how every animal has a purpose, and how the land gives only to those who respect it. In their eyes, you see what we've forgotten, that humanity is not separate from nature, but part of it. The people of Botswana have made extraordinary choices. While other nations have cleared their forests and crowded their rivers, Botswana has chosen a different path, one guided by preservation and balance. Almost half the country is protected land, national parks, reserves, and sanctuaries where wildlife roams free. The government's approach to tourism, often called high value, low impact, ensures that visitors contribute to the land without overwhelming it. You don't come here to consume. You come to connect. You come to listen to the heartbeat of the wild. And what a heartbeat it is. The thunder of hooves in Chobe, the quiet glide of a Makoro through the delta, the whisper of wind across the Makgadikgadi. Together, these sounds create a symphony, the eternal music of Botswana. It's a melody that speaks to something deep within us, something primal and pure, because when you stand beneath Botswana's infinite skies, you realize that this is how the earth once was free, wild, and whole. As day turns to dusk, the sky explodes in color pinks, golds, and deep crimson hues that bleed into the horizon. Elephants gather near a watering hole, their reflections mirrored in the still water. A lion's roar echoes in the distance, rolling across the plains like thunder. The stars begin to emerge one by one until the sky becomes a sea of light. Out here, the night isn't something to fear. It's a reminder of how vast, how beautiful, and how fragile our world truly is. Botswana teaches you something that few places can, that real wealth isn't measured in possessions or progress, but in peace. It's found in the silence of a desert at dawn, in the rhythm of wings across a river, in the trust between man and animal. It's the kind of peace that doesn't need to be built, it just needs to be preserved. When you finally leave this land, you carry more than memories. You carry its spirit, the scent of rain on dry earth, the image of an elephant crossing the delta, the sound of the wind whispering through the acacia trees. And somewhere deep inside, you feel changed. Because once you've seen Botswana, once you've truly felt it, the world never looks the same again. Botswana doesn't shout for attention. It doesn't need to. Its beauty lies in its silence, its strength in its simplicity. It's a land that shows you what the earth can be when left in balance, wild, free, and eternal. So when people ask you about Botswana, you'll find it hard to explain. Because how do you describe a place that feels more like a dream than a destination? You can only tell them this: there's a country in Africa where time stands still, where nature still rules, and where the wild still whispers your name. And that place is Botswana. Thanks for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed exploring Prague as much as I enjoyed guiding you through it. If you found this travel guide helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more beautiful destinations from around the world. Got a favorite spot in Prague? Drop it in the comments, I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, safe travels, and see you in the next video.